Hey, KMA Tribe, friends, family, students. Today I want to talk to you about the power of 45 minutes. And I'm going to start with a little story, but then I'm going to give you some really important, actionable advice at the end of this video. And the little story has to do with a ride I did with my bride yesterday. Barbara and I went out for a morning ride. We were going out for breakfast. And when we got to the first place where we were planning to have breakfast, they told us it was a 45-minute wait. Now listen, nothing against them. God bless them. That's some good Sunday business, and I'm happy for them. But I'm not sitting around to wait for 45 minutes, especially not when I'm out on my ride. So, we took that 45 minutes and we rode way out north. And then we found a place for breakfast, and it was okay too. But see, the point of the story is, it got me thinking about the power of 45 minutes, right? Because it is true that all of us, anybody listening to this, has important roles and goals, things like that they would like to accomplish in life. And it is true that all we can manage really is our time, energy, and attention towards the accomplishment of those things, right? This applies to the lesson on the circle of concern and circle of control. It applies, to goal setting and planning and so many things, but I'm going to try to make it really, really simple today. The point is that 45 minutes is really a long time. Years ago, I took a course called, what was it called? It was called Extreme Productivity by Darren Hardy, and he called it airplane time back then. It doesn't carry the same thing now, because now you can be on your devices on the airplane, but back then you couldn't. So airplane time, the idea was, it was 90 minutes of time where you would be completely distraction free. And I do that every single day. Sometimes I can get in 2 airplane times, sometimes I can only get in 1. But that deep focus work is important, and it has to be. It's not the same if you can be distracted at all. There has to be distraction free from people, from text, from notifications, from everything, just for those 90 minutes. And then you can go do all the other parts of your day that require the interaction, of course, depending on your life and your roles and your goals and what kind of job you have. Depends on how you have to work that out, but try it sometime, even if it's only with 45 minutes. And then here's the 3 pieces of advice. Number 1 is that 45 minutes is a long time. So look for what things you do that are not moving you closer to your goals, where you're wasting 45 minutes or where you're wasting 15 minutes 3 times a day. And, we don't have to be specific and go through scrolling Facebook or whatever other distractions, useless time it is. But just, the next time that you're tempted to say that thing, that people say, like, well, I just don't have the time, think about some of the wasted time. And then number 2 thing that I would say is, there's this important concept we teach here called what's important next. So even if you're doing a good job not wasting time, if you have a lot of things that you're managing, it can actually just get overwhelming. Like, what should I focus on next? And this is why we talk about what's important next. I'm actually reading a great book that was recommended to me called Willpower. And it talks about all these different studies around the idea of willpower. Highly recommend. But the point that's relevant to this is, recently he was talking about how, like, when people do, for example, a New Year's resolution list, he says generally, when by February 1st they have filled out all their resolutions, they think that it is a lack of willpower. And he says, you're looking at the wrong thing. It's not your willpower, it's your list. Because you can only focus your time, energy, and attention on so many things at one time. So that's why our Black Belt leadership principle of what's important next, when, what's important now, and what's important next is so important next. And then number 3 is just a reminder that either we tell our time where to go, or we wonder where it went. It's just like money and every other resource. So plan your day ahead, the day before, or at least the morning of. Don't just let it happen to you, because then you'll wonder where it went. I hope this has been helpful. I'm Grandmaster Stephen Del Castillo of Krav Maga Martial Arts. Prepare to live, empower to lead. See you again soon.